Hey guys, it's Avery. So today I'm going to be talking about how I hate telling people that I'm non-binary. I absolutely hate it because usually when I begin to think that it's probably a good idea that I tell people is because there's a lot of she, her going around and miss and girl, this and that, you know, and it makes me really uncomfortable. So that's when I kind of think to myself that maybe it's a good idea to tell them because I can't stand it anymore. I can't stand the whole, oh, she said blah 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 and oh my god, boobs. I don't know. So I will approach this person and be like, hey, like actually like I'm not a girl, you know, and I'm just not, and they're like, oh, like okay, and I'm like, but I'm not a boy either, and then that's when everyone's just kind of confused, you know, and like I try to stick to the whole I'm not a girl but I'm not a boy, I'm just neither, but as soon as they need more clarification I need to tell them, sorry, that's my cat, she's playing with her favorite toy, it squeaks. As soon as I tell them any like terms like non-binary or agender, mostly non-binary, I get this kind of look on their face. It's just kind of like, okay, yeah, you're non-binary, you know, like, and I just feel like they hear it from other people or they hear it from the internet and there's just so much mockery towards it. There's just such a stigma being trans and non-binary, and I hate telling people because I feel like people hear this word, they hear the word non-binary and they think it's not real, they think it's made up. And first of all words are made up, so that's a dumb thing to say, you know? So they hear this word non-binary and they don't understand it because they think it's made up and they think that it's dumb, or they think that it's a word that people created to make them seem more special than other people, or more special than regular female to male or male to female trans people. And so that bugs me because if you think about it, people don't break down the word properly and they just kind of hear it and they hear it as this foreign word, but instead of breaking it apart into what it actually means, they just jump to conclusions and think that it's made up and it's just from Tumblr and this and that and just trying to make myself feel special. Aren't I a special snowflake? So if you take the word non-binary, you're literally splitting up the word non or not binary, saying that like I am not binary. The binary is basically male and female. If I am neither, if I just don't feel connected to either, if I feel neutral, if I feel both or just not one or the other, I am non-binary. It's just not being binary. And if you break it down like that, it doesn't sound so scary, you know, it doesn't sound so intimidating, it doesn't sound so funny or weird or made up, you know, it's just the opposite of being binary. I'm just not binary. I'm non-binary. So I hate telling people I'm non-binary because of the look on their faces when I tell them. The look that they give me, that they're like in disbelief or they don't get it. And it's just, I also feel like there's, again, like this huge stigma because there's binary trans people, so female to male or male to female trans people that also don't understand non-binary people. They don't think that non-binary identities and genders exist. They disregard there being more than two genders, which is pretty hurtful because the LGBTQ community is supposed to be very inclusive, but in reality, like, they're not as inclusive as they make it look like. Although I consider myself a part of the trans community, a lot of the trans community doesn't want to include non-binary people as part of the trans community because we're not trans enough, or we're not real trans people. So that really bugs me because it's like non-binary people don't identify as their biological gender or what they're assigned at birth. So if a non-binary person, or if they don't go by that, like a agender person, a gender fluid person, whatever, if they go by the identity of trans, then in no way should anyone from that community not include them, you know what I mean? And there's just a sense of alienation when that happens, because I just feel like you're trying to be a part of this community and like you're just being rejected. But like pride and like LGBTQ, like the community is supposed to be creating this safe space for everyone to feel like they can just be themselves, and you can't do that sometimes in the places that you expect to be so friendly around that type of subject. So it's really frustrating, and I hate telling people I'm non-binary, because like I just feel like, I'm not saying that it's easier to say that like I'm a boy or that I'm a binary trans person. I'm not saying that my experience is harder than... Alright, okay. Come in. I'm not saying that my experience is more difficult and that their experience is easier, but I'm saying that, I hope I don't get hate for this, I'm just saying that I think it can go both ways, actually. I think that sometimes I think to myself that like it would be a lot easier if I was just a boy, because I could just tell people, hey, like, I'm trans, I'm a boy, I'm actually not a girl, and that's it, that's that. And you know, like you get like the regular questions of like, oh, how did you know, whatever, and what do you plan to do. But to be non-binary is just this whole thing where people don't agree with it all of a sudden, and they say like, oh, why can't you just be a girl who, you know, wears masculine clothing? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You can just be a girl and wear whatever you want. I'm like, that's not what it is. There's a whole other extent to it that has nothing to do with your expression and nothing to do with their clothing. So that bugs me, and they just think that I make up this word, and I hate it. But it can also go the other way around, where sometimes people fear coming out as trans, like binary trans, because they feel like it's too much for people to hear that. So kind of saying that you're neither, or that you're both, or you're just kind of you're not male or female, it kind of softens the blow. And like, I'm not saying that's like for everybody, that's not for everybody's experience, but I'm saying that I think that it can go both ways. So I feel like maybe if I was a binary trans man, maybe I would prefer to be non-binary. I don't know. But that's all I'm saying. I hate telling people I'm non-binary. I hate outing myself. I don't like it. It bothers me. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys. Alright guys, so I forgot to add that the reason I feel the need to come out to people as non-binary, or I feel the need to out myself, is because if I don't, I'm going to be very uncomfortable in social interactions and social situations. So like, I could totally choose not to tell people and like kind of avoid that whole thing, but if I don't, I'm going to be continuously called by she, her pronouns. There's not going to be any progress in that department, and it's just, I hate it. I hate telling people, but I think that it's probably the best if I feel like I'm still going to be safe. Alright, bye.